I understand the love affair with American V8s that are supercharged. This thing... Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2013 Chevy Camaro ZL1. Up front is a 6.2 liter supercharged V8, and down below is a 6-speed manual gearbox. And if you want to read more of my thoughts, head on over to carmarshal.com/overdrive, where I'll actually be writing an article about the ZL1. But let's get back to that 6.2 liter supercharged V8, which I have some open road for. All right, so we're in second gear. It feels a lot more controlled than the Hellcat, I tell you what. And this is even like being a stick shift. Wow. So, as you guys heard, that is the 6.2 liter supercharged LSA engine, and it's magnificent. This car has some work done to it, and it's putting out about 600 horsepower to the wheels. So it is by far the fastest, most powerful stick shift car I've ever driven. Paired to it is the 6-speed manual trans, which I actually really like the shifter. It actually feels nice in my opinion. It could be a little bit heavier, but not by much. So let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have two gauges that they're in like, that was a big one. That was a big pop. They're gauges inside these like rectangular housings, but they're really cool. They're just standard gauges. In the middle, you get a little information center, gives you your speed, little stuff like that. I believe it's actually the same one as the Chevy Malibu. But what's really nice is that this car has a heads-up display, and I recently found out that I thought this was like a 90s gimmicky thing, but it's actually still a thing. People still put heads-up displays in their cars. I know the BMWs had one, but this is really nice because it actually gives me my RPM and speed all in one. So that's really all I need. When I'm really going for it, that's all I need to look at. You can also switch the heads-up display to show you your lateral Gs for cornering, which is actually really cool. You wouldn't think of a muscle car as really like a cornering car, but just around that corner, we just did 0.49 Gs, so it's really cool that it'll tell you that. In the center are two heating and cooling vents, really uneventful there. You have an entertainment system that's for your Bluetooth, navigation, all that sort of stuff. A lot of the stuff in here is pretty general GM stuff. Down below, you do get 4 really nice gauges down by the shifter. So you get oil pressure, oil temperature, voltage, and a factory boost meter, which is actually like a real one. It's not like the Focus ST where it doesn't show vacuum. This will actually show you vacuum and pressure. So it's functional, it's real, and I really like that. And then of course there is the shifter. It tells you how to shift down below, which is actually really interesting to me. I didn't know that reverse was all the way to the right and up. I guess that's sort of a Chevy thing. Let's try 5th. And still pulling. All right, let's try 6th. Still pulling. This car is also really comfortable. That's what I like about big American cars like this, is that I have tons of extra space. My left leg isn't even touching anything, which like in my RX-7, it's crammed up against the door, but here, I can almost do like a line dance, and it's so nice. So it's not as roomy as the Hellcat.
It's the headroom when you go to lean back. Is the problem.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's none.
Kind of stuck.
Yeah.
The brakes on this thing are amazing. It's 6-piston in the front, 4-piston in the rear, and it's 2-piece rotors in the front. So this thing will stop on a dime. So there is a sport and a touring mode, which really just deals with the suspension. This Camaro has magnetic suspension, which is what GM's been rolling out recently, and it's actually really well done. And so you could stiffen up the suspension in sport mode and touring and that sort of thing. So this car does have different stability control modes. There's one for the rain, there's a race mode and all this stuff, but they're not the best, and if you're a good driver, you can do it yourself better. Oh, that's the shift light I see. The other nice thing about the Camaro, because I'm comparing this to the Hellcat a lot in my head, because it's around the same power, around the same year, So I've been comparing this in my head, and really another big difference is the visibility. The Camaro's visibility is a lot better than the Challenger. I don't know what it was. I think it was the door sills of the Challenger were just way too high. This feels more like a normal car than a land yacht with a supercharged engine. Another thing I really like about this Camaro specifically is the paint color. It's this really cool blue, and GM has been making really good paints these last couple of years. And I tried to capture it in the light. I'm not sure if it came through in the video, but it might be one of my favorite colors that I've seen on a car recently. It's really good. I like it a lot. The other really impressive thing about this car is just really how manageable it is. I was quite terrified to drive this car, being it's the most powerful stick shift car I've ever driven, but it honestly, once you get it going, it's really manageable. And then you could shove your foot in it and lose all consciousness if you really want to. So I mentioned it before, but let's actually talk about it. How does this compare to a Hellcat? They're both 6.2 liter supercharged American muscle cars. How do they stack up? Well, the Camaro is honestly just a less flamboyant Hellcat. The Hellcat is so out there, so outrageous, so show-stopping. With the one I drove was purple with an orange engine bay and all this stuff. It's very show-offy. When you drive a Hellcat, you want people to know what you're driving. In the Camaro, it's very unsuspecting. You wouldn't really assume that this thing will actually outrun a Hellcat on the highway. Because once you put your foot in it, it gives you that same feeling of the Hellcat where every thought escapes your head and you just hold on for dear life. That's what I love about high power cars, and I'm sure that's what everyone loves about high power cars, is when you put your foot down, you're not thinking about your taxes, you're not thinking about work, you're not thinking about girls, you're thinking about keeping the car in a straight line and holding on for dear life. So really what it comes down to is, what car would I want to drive every day? The Camaro. What car would I want to take to shows? Would be a Hellcat. It gets a little bit more attention. It's very out there. It kind of captures the imagination of children, but this feels like a better driving car. I could see myself actually going to work, going to school in a car like this, as opposed to the Hellcat. The Hellcat is so in your face at all times, where this car really isn't, but it still packs the punch to back up the power. One downside of the Camaro is I'm kind of looking around, and I guess it's because I daily drive a Pontiac G6, but there are a lot of shared parts in here. Window switches, the trunk release, under the hood, there's a couple little bits like the windshield washer, reservoir cap. It's all the same stuff. I know the center display screen is from a Malibu. It's just funny to recognize that stuff. Obviously, it doesn't take away from the Camaro in any sort. And honestly, when you're driving it, you're not looking at the stuff inside. You're praying to whatever God you worship that you don't wreck. This car also, when the exhaust is warm and everything's right, it will spit flames out the back on acceleration. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to read more of my thoughts, head on over to carmarshal.com/overdrive. But again, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something about the Camaro ZL1. But don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.
There goes a sight from my soul.